Kindergarten Roundup will be here next month. Parents all over will have decisions to make: public, private, homeschool. There's a lot of pressure to get it right. This Momaha Monday, we're glad to welcome two moms and a dad. Next to me, the sassy housewife, Danielle Herzog, and then on the couch, bloggers Anna Backus and Chris Scott. Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Happy
nice
holidays.
to have you here. And to you as well.
Thank you.
All right, before we get to the nuts and bolts of the conversation, I think it's important for our viewers to understand where you're coming from.
Sure.
So what did the three of you choose for your own kids?
I came from private school myself and chose public for my daughter.
And Anna?
I did a blend of public and homeschool when I was growing up, and my kids now go to public school.
Okay, and then what about you,
My
Chris?
wife has actually worked for OPS public schools, but we chose private schools for our kids.
Okay, so why did you make that choice?
Well, it was kind of a multi-pronged thing. For us, it was just what puts our kid in the best in the best chance for success, academic outcome. And we felt that with the smaller class sizes and the more individualized curriculum and attention, we felt our child would do better there, and not begrudging public schools. It was just a personal choice, and my wife also wanted a Catholic education for our children as well.
So why did you make a choice that's slightly different than what you grew up knowing?
Just as a career mom, I think that it's in the best interest to have my kids in an environment where they have a teacher, and I wouldn't be able to give my kids that attention that a teacher could give them. So more than anything, though, I feel like I still am very engaged in the process of my kids' education, talk to my kids' teachers, make sure they're in the right programs for them, and try to take what I learned from my school background and make sure that my kids are getting that same one-on-one attention from their teacher that will really, I feel, help them grow and go in the direction that they want to go.
Yeah, you're trying to set them up. These years are so important, Danielle.
Absolutely.
How did your experience growing up affect what you decided at home?
Sure. Well, going to private school, I was in a bubble. You know, everybody looked the same, talked the same, kind of had the same socioeconomic background. And I didn't want that for my child. I feel like I didn't really embrace diversity and learn about diversity until later in life. And I love that my daughter goes to a school from all different countries are represented there, backgrounds. She's learned so much more than I did. And I want to believe in my community. And so I love that her friends all live on our street. And it's all part of a community, and we're supporting where we live and not just this private bubble of a world.
Chris, this pressure to get it right, did you and your wife talk about that, all of those what ifs, and do you ever second guess yourselves now?
No, I think that that's a great point with the diversity, but for our number one concern was what is going to make our child, what's going to give our child the best chance for good academic outcomes. And so our choice was very easy. My wife taught in OPS. There's pros and cons of teaching in OPS, or any public school for that matter. But I think one of the problems you have is you have kids that are exceptional and kids that need extra help. And a lot of times, unfortunately, based on class size, the teachers kind of teach to the middle because they can't give that individualized attention. And I knew in a private setting we'd have more of that.
And don't you feel also that a parent's role can make up some of those differences too? It's that parent involvement.
To bridge it.
To bridge it. It's our job as parents, if you see something lacking in your child's education, to first obviously reach out to the teacher, but then be that additional resource. Like you talked about, that you had that combination of homeschool.
This is where Danielle starts to stir the pot.
Well, that's the whole
my
thing.
evil plan.
I think me and Chris had agreed on this, that there's not always parents that are that active and that will go to the school and say, hey, my kid's not getting the attention that I think they need to really excel here. And so that's where the kind of disconnect is. And
so do you abandon the school system then because of that?
No, but what do you do when you have 10 kids that have behavioral issues in the class and it completely detracts from the educational environment? I mean, you as a parent can't go in there and remove those kids, and I think in private schools, they have less of that. And I'm not to say that they're bad kids or good kids, but there's a lot of special needs kids in the public schools that absolutely should be taught. But if I have a choice in the resources as a parent to give my kid a better chance of doing well, why would I put him in that environment when sometimes, unfortunately, it becomes a glorified babysitter situation? And it's not giving up on OPS schools, it's what's doing best for your kids.
I believe there is no bad kids, there's just bad parents and bad teachers.
Oh, well, I think we have our next conversation set on our next Momaha Monday, Anna. Thank you very much. Our viewers at home now are either nodding their head or they're like trying to get at one of the three of you. But that's that's why we love these conversations, because you all come to it with your own point of view. And it's not about apologizing. It's about saying, this is how I feel and this is why. And that's Momaha in essence. If you'd like to stay connected with the blog, we encourage you to do it on Facebook, on Twitter, online. Just search out momaha.com, and then any questions or complaints, you can email them. I'm just kidding. We never have any of those. Guys, thank you for coming in, and happy